revealing the dark secret. After James gets into the break of many elements, he feels relaxed and liberated. However, there is still something waiting for him in the haunted depths. James begins to search for the evidence that she recorded about this dark secret. He searches every corner of the house, original books and studies encrypted writings, seeks to search for the hidden truth. One night, James discovers a small box hidden in one of the old drawers. He tolerates it with caution, finds that he is wrong and feels wrong. It cleans fonts and reads their encrypted contents. Laser scrolls about the most terrible and mysterious secret of the curse that was broken. There are touchlines about Wikla's power that can't be controlled directly in the haunted house. The lined lines indicate that the house has a Wiccan spirit living in the darkness of partial secrecy. James is shocked and stunned. Is the curse you broke just a small part of the evil force that inhabits the house, and what is the nature of this evil spirit and what are her intentions? Find out from this point, James plunges into a world of exploration. He investigates the history of the haunted house and its origins. Collect more evidence and defies his challenges in order to uncover this dark one. During the journey, James discovers that the evil spirit is the spirit of a woman who has been living in darkness for centuries. Then he brought her home after she began to oppress and eventually oppress. Since then, there is an option to take revenge on anyone who enters the house and threatens him with evil. James feels the determination and strength to confront this evil spirit and end the chain of injustice and evil for a long time. He finds himself faced with new and more difficult challenges, as he has to look for ways to the losses of the evil spirit and turn them into the light. James uses the knowledge he has gained from reading ancient books and encrypted manuscripts to begin preparing a plan to confront the evil spirit. And he discovers that he needs to find a powerful tool that will help him in this difficult task. James begins a new journey in search of this tool, looking for old places and abandoned cemeteries in order to find them. He is exposed to multiple dangers during the flight, but does not give up and does not lose hope. One day, James discovers an ancient tablet containing an ancient and powerful tool known as the Sword of Light. And that this sword is the key to defeating the evil spirit and turning it into light. James prepares to qualify to face the evil spirit. Gathering all the knowledge and courage that she gained on the journey, she sets off to the secret room of the haunted house. A fierce battle breaks out between James and the evil spirit. James uses the Sword of Light brilliantly and courageously, defying helplessness and evil with all his abilities. And after a long battle, James managed to defeat the evil spirit and turn it into the light. With the end of the battle, peace and tranquility return to the haunted house. The evil spirits are freed and the seagull returns to the secret room. James feels proud and satisfied in this news and horror story. The haunted house returns to and becomes a safe place to live. And James's journey ends in the disclosure of the dark secret and the termination of numerous actions. He has strong memories and experiences that shaped him as a person and influenced his life permanently. Battle of Evil Spirits. After James began to defeat the evil spirit and turn it into light, necessarily and liberally. However, there are still some mysterious matters and restless spirits in the haunted house. James feels that there is another force emanating from inside the house, causing the spirits and ghosts in it to be disturbed. And James decides that he must endure this force and fight it for the safety of life. James begins a new journey exploring the haunted house, where the doctor is looking for any evidence or indication of the source of this mysterious power. He wanders through abandoned processes and ruins, uses exploration and ghost detection tools. During the trip, James happens several strange and terrifying events. Tom ghosts walking around the corridors and tries to conduct from him. He hears terrifying sounds and screams that quickly come from operations. But James is not afraid and does not give up. He persistently and powerfully continued his mission. During his research, James discovered that this mysterious force is another Wick spirit living in the house. This spirit went beyond the turmoil that she was carrying and causes chaos in the house. James emphasized that he must face this evil spirit and try to turn it into the light scientists with the former soul. And James owns equipping himself with the necessary tools and knowledge necessary for this spirit. James begins to look for ways to communicate with the evil spirit, understand its motives and causes. Reading ancient books and encrypted manuscripts, he consults experts of ghosts and demanding spirits to obtain the required information. After a period of research and preparation, James feels ready to face the evil spirit. He heads to the room where the soul lives and the basic tools for bringing it to the site. The 6th chapter, Confronting the Evil Spirit. James enters the operating room where the evil spirit lives. You feel cold, aggressive air. Tom James is in the middle and preparing for the showdown. James summons the soul with a loud, authoritative voice with his voice. He asks her to live and face him. Moments of silence fill the room, looking for a change of soul in fashion. Suddenly, a fire breaks out in the foregoal of the room, forming the evil spirit in its center. The soul looks terrifying and twisted, and her eyes are kindling red fire. James brought to the soul steadfastly and the strength of the body. He tells her in a steady voice, I'm James, and I'm here to help. In turning you to the light and ending your suffering. The soul marvels at James's words and begins to hesitate. She says in a shaky voice, Why do you want to help me? I am the spirit of weak, I must not unbuy. James firmly says, Not everything in life is black or white. I believe that the soul has the power to change and transform. You don't need to live in darkness forever. The soul begins to have a point of view, and says, she was devoid of everything except her own. I had no one to choose me or help me. James says, I'm here because I'm the one who hurt you. I will give you the guarantees you need to turn to the light and find inner peace. The soul wonders at James's statement and says, Why are you doing this? Why are you your soul and you? James smiles and answers, Because I believe in the positive power of change and healing. I believe that even the darkest soul can be transformed and brought back to the light. Therefore, the soul turns to James with a hesitant look, and then begins to fade. James feels triumph and joy. And from her, the evil spirit comes to the surface and begins to transform transformation and healing. And after James manages to get the evil spirit to the surface, he begins to direct energy towards her. He uses spiritual healing and meditation techniques in transformation. James sits in a relaxed position and invites the soul to relax and forms its healing center. He begins to show positive energy and love for the soul, trying to remove the imperfection that taints it. You feel the warmth as well, and you notice a change in the present. She begins to send good messages and strengths about herself, a poem about herself in transformation and leaving the beautiful past behind. And James feels happy and progress is already happening. And continue to direct positive energy and meditation for a longer time, focusing on providing support and towards the soul on the healing journey. Parties and groups gather around the soul, and the beginning of light begins within it. She feels the change and transformation in which significant changes are taking place in her, and she begins to experience inner peace. After a period of healing and transformation, the soul becomes joyful, filled with love and light. She thanks James for his help and calmly says to him, I owe you the new one that you gave me. I feel at peace now. James smiles and attends, You are sharing happiness and healing, and I am glad that you were chosen in it. You will appreciate great strength and will to change. The soul bids farewell to James and Tidingman, but this time with grace and peace. She returns to the spiritual world having changed from and transcended the darkness that was surrounding her. James feels good and proud of himself. His importance in the transformation of the evil spirit and its return to the light was confirmed. However, there is still a lot of final work on the journey to find the haunted house and complete peace can be achieved. James is preparing to face Chapter 8, The Battle of Darkness. After James succeeds in turning the evil spirit, then there is a new challenge that he discovers on a trip to visit the haunted house. You must face the darkness that dwells in the depths of the house and counteract the evil beings that live there. James is preparing psychologically and emotionally for this upcoming fight. His connection as a result strengthens the lines of spiritual protection for himself from the evils that he may encounter. James cautiously enters the haunted house, but enters the arena of war. And she thinks about the afterlife and the evil ones who are trying to add to his existence. He uses light and love to confront and drive them away. The battle between light and darkness begins, and they attract opposing labor forces by force. James uses spiritual power to counteract evil beings and return them to the darkness from which he comes. The battle goes on for many hours, trying to control the other party. James feels exhausted and tired, but he does not lose hope. She continued to focus on his spiritual techniques of echolocation and control of choices. At the moment of confidence, James feels Michael's inner strength. He stressed that he is not alone in this fight, but the support of the positive and the southern angelic is on his side. Thanks to the combined power, James managed to defeat the living beings and drive them out of the haunted house. He feels joy and liberation from the power that was missing in her. James lies down on the ground to regain his strength, feeling peace and victory. He confirmed that he had made an unreasonable expectation on a trip to visit the haunted house, and believed that the talent for the upcoming showdown. James thanks the positive and angelic spirits for their support and help. He knows that thanks to them and with his great will, he will succeed in achieving complete peace and tranquility in the house.